going to see the topic about string IO in files. That is how to write a string and read a string from a file. See, already we had in the last class we had seen about how to write and read a character in a file. That is, while reading a file, we will read character by character. In same way, while storing some content, storing some data to a file, there we will store character by character to a file. But now we are going to see how to read and write a string to a file. See, they were using two types of function. See, there were two types of function, fPutAs function and fGetAs function. See, here the fGetAs function it is used to read a file and fPutAs function it is used to write a file. See, last class we had seen if you want to write the character, there you are using fPutC. But here if you want to write a string, so here we are using this fPutAs function. In same way, for reading a file in string wise, here we should use fGetAs function. See, depending upon the mode, the file mode which we had opened, we can use this function. Suppose if we have opened the file in read mode, then we can, by help of this fGetAs function, we can read the content inside the file. If we are opening the file in write mode, then we can write the string to a file. So here, what are the open modes here? See, for example, if we are creating the file pointer, let us assume fp. Here fp is equal to, how you will open the file? By using this function fopen, first file name, let us assume test.txt. This is the file. Next here file mode. If you want to write, we can give w. So that here to this file test.txt we can write the file. Otherwise, if you want to read, then we can give the r in the mode. Next, if you want to append the data, then we can use a. See, the plus symbol it is used for both read and write. Suppose if you are giving w plus, here we can write to the file, even we can read the file also by if you are using this plus. Write, read and modify, these things we can do if you are using the plus symbol. In same way for r also. We can read the existing file and we can modify the file also. In same way append. For append, here if already existing file, here we can append the data. See what the data you had given, previous file data plus next to that data, previous file data, here what the content you are giving, that will be added inside that file. So here this is append mode. Here one thing, here if you are using the plus in the append mode, here we can append the file and read the file, but here we can't modify the file. If you are using append, next if you are using plus, here we can't modify. But here in for write, reading also, here we can modify the file, but in append we can't modify the file. So these are the file mode. See, depending upon the mode, we can use this function. See, now let us see the first one here, putAs function. fPutAs. This is used for writing a file. If you want to use the fPutAs function, then you should open the file in which mode? Write mode. If you are using the write mode, then we can write the string to a file by using fPutAs function. Let us see about the syntax of this file. Very first here, in the syntax, we can use like this. Here fPutAs, very first argument, we can use the string and we can store that string to file. The file is opened in the fp pointer. See, for this, let us assume this one character. Here st, this variable name is st here, and here I had used the array space 100. That means 100 letters can be stored to a string maximum. Next, that 100 letters can be write to a file. So before we are writing the file, here I am creating a variable st. Next I am storing some values to this st. See, here we can store the values by using a string function, getAs function. This getAs function is used to give the input for the variable. See here I have declared the variable st, so that here 100 letters I can store. For getting the input I can use by help of this string function getters function. I am getting the string to st, so that here suppose if you are giving welcome to C, this is the string, so this will be stored to st. Next here the content inside the st were written to where fp. So here this fp, before we should open this file in fopen. In which mode we are going to open? We are opening this file. Let us assume the file name is test.txt. Next this file I had opened in write mode, so that here I can write the file to this fp, because this fp file pointer here I had opened in write mode. So the content inside the string where we can easily write to the fp. If you are giving welcome to C, then here at very first in this file open I am telling, if there is the existing file test.txt, then the content which you had given, that welcome to C, that content will be stored to the existing file. Suppose if there were no existing file, then it will create the new file test.txt in that current directory, the current path, and it will write that content. Say for example test.txt, this is the file. Here it will store the content. What is the content? Welcome to C. This content were stored to this file test.txt. This which mode? Write mode. So here by using the fputters I can write. See here I had used this getters. This is the string function. See fgetters, fputters, these and all file function. Under the file stream these functions were there. In same way under the string.h header file, this get_s, put_s, these and all string function. We can get the string and we can display the string by using the put_s function, string function. So here while using this function we should declare the header file string.h. See here next one. See by using scanf also we can get the string scanf %s. What is that string name? st. Same where see this also for getting input, this scanf function also used for getting the, here format specifier I am using %s. This function also used for getting the string to a variable. Both the functions were used for getting the string to a variable. Here I am using get_s. Why means because here if you are storing the welcome to C, this string means here in the scanf function up to this blank space will not considered. Say blank space, that enter key, return, carriage return, this and all it will be considered. Say in the scanf function. Say suppose if you are storing like this, before the blank space this content only will be stored to st. Next from blank space up to enter, here this will not taken by the function, scanf function if you are using %s. So if you are giving the data only welcome only will be stored to st. Suppose if you are using getters function, here everything welcome to C, this whole string were get by the getters function to st. So the whole string welcome to C, this complete string will be stored to st. See while pressing enter, before what you had given, that entire string will be taken by using this getters function. Say in scanf function if you are pressing enter or if you are giving blank space, before the blank space or before the enter, what the content you had given that will be stored for scanf function. So if you are using scanf function, before the blank space if you are giving, if you are writing a string means it will contains number of words, that is single word only will be taken by using scanf function if you are using scanf function. So here for that getting everything, every word, here I am using getters function. By using getters function we can give a string, number of words can be stored. So after getting the string here where to the st, here I am passing that st, that is string variable st, here that welcome to C, that is inside this st variable, this content, that string entirely I am copying to the file pointer. because inside this file pointer this test.txt I had opened, that is fp is equal to I had opened that test.txt in which mode? Write mode, so that I can write this. By using this fputtest file function I can write this string to the file pointer. In same way, suppose if you want to read, here first thing here, this you should change this mode. This one, the mode is read mode, because we are going to already stored string we are going to read. See here, next by using this fgetters function we can read the, that is we can store the content to the st, and here we can specify the how many in the string how many letters you need. Next here the file pointer, here there is 3 argument, for fputtest only 2 argument, that is the variable, and from that variable that content we are going to store to fp. Here that variable we are reading that content and we are storing to this variable. Here we are giving the number of letters to read, that means it will read 10 letters. Suppose if you are giving 3, then it will read 3 letters from the welcome. Suppose if you are giving like this, here first 3 letters WEL, next again another 3 COM, another 3 E space and T, next O space and C. It will read 3 letters. Here this is letter, number of letters to read. Suppose if you are giving 10, then it will read 10 letters. See here, welcome, up to this 10 letters, welcome to. Next C, here up to this it will read 10 letters per line, it will take 10 letters, so that here we can specify how many letters you need to read. In the fgetters function we can specify up to that letters it will read from the file and it will display to the display screen. See next, now let us see the simple program, how to write a string to a file and how to read a string to a file. See, now let us see the output. Very simple here. Main function open brace and close brace. Here only the single if condition I am using here. See, totally here 2 variable, that is file fp is the file pointer. Here this is the structure variable, here star fp I had created for this file, pointer to a file. Next here another variable character s. Here this s it is used to store a string. Next here fp, for this fp I am opening the file test.txt. In which mode? Write mode. Next, if file is opened, then from the disk that file is loaded to the where? To the memory. That from the disk that file is loaded to the buffer. Next, the file pointer fp, it points that buffer address. So here, suppose if file were unable to open, means to that file pointer it will store the null pointer, that is it will store the null value. So here I am checking if the file is not opened, that is fp value will be null. So here I am telling to print unable to open. Next I am coming out. Suppose if the file had opened, here this it won't consider. Next it will come here. Here I am asking enter the string. See, if the file were there, if it is opened in write mode, next step here it will ask enter the string. This is output. Suppose if you are giving welcome to C, then this content will be stored to where? To this variable. By help of this getS function, that is in the string function, I am getting the input to the var s. So here this s is equal to this string will be stored to this variable s. Next here by help of the fputs function, file function, this one, I am storing the value, that is content, to the file, that is inside this s content, that content were stored to where the file pointer f, which I had opened already in write mode. So here this file name what? Test.txt. If already exist, then it will open that file and the content were stored to that file. Suppose if the file were not exist, then it will create the new file test.txt and it will put this content, that is welcome to C. This content were stored to test.txt. So that in that way we can store the content. By using this fputs, we can write the content to the file. Next here I am closing this file. Once I am closing this file, what it will happen? The file pointer which fetching that buffer, that and all will be removed. Next the buffer will be cleared. Next here I am telling close fp, next return means it will come. So here in this way we can write a string to a file. See, previous class we had seen how to write a file. There and all we will write the file character by character. In same way we are reading the file also character by character, reading the file by using the fgetC and fputC function. We are reading and writing the content to a file. Here in same way, instead of character we are reading it by string. That is the main difference here. Now let us see how to read a string from a file. See, this is also very simple. Here instead of write, here we are using read mode. Next here in same way, if it is open, then it comes here, otherwise it will print unable to open. Next come outside. See, suppose if the file had opened, then it will store to the buffer. From the disk it will move to the buffer. From the buffer the file pointer fetch the address and it will read the string, that is depending upon in the string function how much letters you are specifying, depending upon that it will read. Say here while 1, that is infinity loop, this one. See, here I am closing this main function here. Next while loop, this one. Next if and else, if part, else part. See, very simple here. Two variables, string 100 letters can be stored here. Next fp, file pointer. Here I am opening the file. I am opening in read mode. This one, which mode? Read mode. Now we are going to read inside the content, already existing file. What the content inside, that content we are going to read. So read mode. Next, if file pointer null, here it will print unable to open. Suppose if it is not null, then it will come here. This one infinity loop. Infinity loop means until we are giving the break, the loop will be, iteration will be repeated. So here first I am checking if getS function. getS function, it is used for getting the value from the buffer. See, when that disk on the file, it will be stored to buffer. Next, this file pointer were pointing that buffer. Next, here by file pointer, here by using this fgetters function, I am reading 10 letters and here storing to s. Next, here if it is null, then it will break. If it is not null, then that stored value, s value will be printed here. See, here I had given 10, so that in the while part I am telling, here in the f file pointer, from the buffer the file pointer were pointing that content, welcome, this first letter. Here from that, here 10 letters. See, this is 10 letters. So welcome to. These letters were stored in s, that s. Here I am printing. Here we can use printf or puts function, that is the string function. We can use like this also. Puts, that name yes, we can give like this, anyone. Say getters for getting the string to a variable, puts for printing the content inside the string to the output display screen. We can use puts string also. Here I had used printf string and I am printing the string here. Here how many letters? 10 letters I am giving. Suppose if you are giving here it as 3, then 3 letters it will take and store to s and it will read. What is the first letter? 3. Welcome. So WEL. Next COM. Next E blank one space and T. Next O one space and C. So here it will read 3 letters. See, in this way we can read the string from the file.